beautiful morning. Give y'all a minute to get in here. I can't even tell when people are in here or not because YouTube be lying. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes. Maybe not a few minutes. A couple minutes here.
How can we do that better? Because I do think the policies have to be enforced.
I wonder what they're talking about. Kind of a beautiful morning. It's like 60 degrees out. You know what I mean? About 60 degrees. Clear skies. Sky's kind of blue. Not as blue as when I was a kid, but still kind of blue. A little bit of haze. Let y'all see this view. The Dust Bowl that is the LA Basin, y'all. The LA Basin. Basically below sea level. You got the mountains over there to the west, well, the northwest. That's the beach over there. The ocean's over there. You got the Palisades over there, the mountain, you know where Temesco Canyon is and all that shit. And that's where the federal building is. Federal building over there. What's up, Derek? 60 degrees here too. In listening mode. Late to the party. But greetings to Snaps of the Gorilla. Listening to you live on their tube. That's exactly what it is. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yep, the basin, y'all. So yeah, how y'all doing this morning? Hope you're doing good on this beautiful Sunday. I got a full day ahead of me. After this, I gotta make a quick important run. Then I got my daughter's birthday party today. She'll be turning 3 tomorrow. But you know, we're celebrating today for the folks that have to work tomorrow, so. Yeah, so it's all good. This is gonna be a quick live. I gotta be somewhere about 9:30. And so I got about an hour or so to kick it with y'all before I have to skate. So hopefully I can get 2 rounds in. That'd be ideal. Shopping a little while, relaxing. Happy birthday. Appreciate that. My baby girl, Kalasia, my youngest daughter, she is something else too. She is a firecracker. She don't play. But she's very smart. Very smart, has a great vocabulary, so what more can a papa ask for? Let me get into this Wilder fight, y'all, real quick. That was a good fight. Although, after about round 3, when Deontay Wilder got knocked down, I was kind of afraid for him, man, because he was out of it. He was not conditioned. And that's the biggest problem with this fight with him, was that he was not conditioned to go 12 rounds, weighing as much as he did. This is the most he ever weighed during a bout. 238 pounds. You know, that's a lot of weight to carry for someone who has such a small frame. You know, someone who probably does not put on muscle very easily. He's an endomorph. So, from what I see, he's an endomorph with a little bit of meso. Not very much, hecto. Wait, is it endo? Which one is the skinny ones? I think I got it mixed up. Ectomorph. Whatever. He's skinny. Motherfucker has a skinny frame, all right? It probably took a lot of energy to build that muscle. You know, muscle, and it's mostly muscle he built. Yeah, he had a little bit of, you know, a little bit of pudgy, a little bit of fat, a little bit of layer of fat over his stomach. But man, he packed on a lot of muscle, man. He normally weighs about 214 pounds. You know what I mean? Around that weight. I think for the rematch, he weighed about 220 something. Ectomorph, yeah. Endomorph is one who puts on fat easily and muscle easily. Forgot, yeah, I got it mixed up. But anyway, yeah, he was too big. You know, I didn't think he needed to weigh that much to deal with Fury this time. There's a way to build strength without building muscle, right? If you don't want to get too big, there's a way to build strength and power without packing on so much muscle. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain isometrics. You can do those type of exercises where you kind of remove the eccentric load, or the eccentric, you lessen the eccentric load in your workouts and you focus more on the concentric, because when you do eccentric loads, that's where most of the muscle tear down occurs. And when you tear down muscle, right, through resistance, that's where the fibers, you'll repair more muscle on top of what you tore to compensate for that extra resistance. He needed strength. He needed to build his strength more so than building strength and muscle. Muscle takes a lot of energy. So in a sport like boxing, where it's an endurance sport, boxing is an endurance sport where you need a lot of power. Power is more important than like muscly strength, right? But strength is important because if you have a big guy like Fury leaning on you the whole fight, pressing down on you, putting you in headlocks and shit, you need to be able to resist that. You need to be able to get him up off you. The best way to do that is to build strength for that type of. Deontay Wilder already has the power. He already has the power. Just keep working on your power and build strength without building muscle. Isometric exercises, concentric loads, more so than eccentric loads. You know what I'm saying? Explosive movements where, you can explode the weight off of you, similar to the weight that Tyson Fury has. Because with all that muscle and with Tyson Fury pressing down on him, he got tired. He got tired and zapped. He was not in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Bricks basically training. And you know what? I saw that knockdown. You're talking about the second one, right? I was like, why did he take so long to start counting? Why did he wait so long to start counting? Here's the problem with that. It's not really about seconds when you count, right? You know that, Bricks. It's about how the referee counts. You know what I'm saying? the referee tells tells ringside, yo, I'm about to start, I'm counting, and he starts counting. It's not really about seconds, right? Because it's really up to the discretion and interpretation of the ref. But if you wait too long to start counting, that's when it can become a problem. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that Mike Tyson was saying about Buster Douglas. But again, it's not about how you would count, right? It's about how that ref counts. And the ref has to think about a lot of things. He has to look at the fighter. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things involved in the count, not just seconds. Which, it should be about seconds, right? But everything is riding on the ref. The ref, we have to give the ref that capability. He has to have that discretion. Marcy T says fake. No, Marcy T, that wasn't fake. Them blows, though, listen, a lot of people want to say that boxing, prize fighting is fake. Not boxing, but prize fighting, which is what you saw with Deontay Wilder versus Fury. Because there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of money at stake. Who's paid off, Marcy T? You think Wilder was paid off? I don't know. He might have been. Now, if you want to make millions by getting beat the fuck up, he got his ass whooped. He got manhandled. He got beaten. You know what I'm saying? As someone who's boxed in the ring with other people, who spars, like when the shit is real. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you go, listen, those punches were real. Everything that landed, that knocked these motherfuckers out, was real. Like I said, guys will take money to basically get their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Especially nowadays when there's so much scrutiny on the sport with concerns of people taking dives and shit like that. You have to make it look as realistic as possible. Now, I can't say for sure if it was fixed or not. In my opinion, it was not. In my opinion, Deontay Wilder was not conditioned. Like I said, you can build strength without building muscle. You need all the energy you can get. You need all the energy you can get for those 8, 10, 12 rounds of boxing. You need all the energy you can get. If you get zapped too early, like he did, I mean, it's just a matter of time. Tyson Fury had he did not get tired. You know what? There were a couple moments where he was tired. And, but he recovered quickly. He was able to recover. Deontay Wilder never recovered. He never got a second win. And that, to me, that was the biggest problem. But there are so many fundamental problems with the way Wilder fights, man. He is not a boxer at all. He never learned to box. And even during this last camp, he tried to learn to box. And he displayed that in the first couple rounds. Like, okay, he's doing the right things. He's stepping properly. He's going to the body, then going to the head, showing different things to Fury, confusing him a little bit. But when push came to shove, or when knock came to down, Wilder reverted back to his old ways, man. He refused to box. He was crossing his feet. I mean, his legs were so unsteady. And that's another thing. If you're gonna build muscle anywhere, and even then not too much, you wanna put some of that weight in the legs too. His legs are just too frail. You can see that. Like, his knees looked like they were gonna buckle at any moment. You know what I'm saying? His upper body size was disproportionate to his lower body size. So, He's just not a boxer, man. And going up against somebody like Fury, who knows how to box, who knows how to, he knows how to box, and he knows how to press. He knows how to punch. You know what I'm saying? He developed his right hand and destroyed Wilder with it. That looping right hand, man, that was a beautiful looping right hand. Caught him in the ear and the temple. You know, he put some good shit together. He didn't box like he normally does. When I'm talking about Fury. Fury did not box as much. You know what I'm saying? Head movement wasn't all the way there. But he had confidence in his weight. He had confidence in his own strength, in his own toughness. And he paid for that confidence with a couple knockdowns. So, you know, that was a good fight to study, man. Anybody with knockout power who thinks that they can carry them throughout their career as a boxer, Deontay Wilder shows you in this fight why you need more than that knockout punch. If you develop great boxing skills on top of that knockout power, oh, you a beast. Same thing with a Jack Bay, the undercard fight, right before Fury and Wilder. F.A. Jack Bay, the Nigerian, it was the same shit with him. You know, he had this knockout power, but he came up against a hell of a boxer who outpunched him. Ajegbe did not show anything. He was relying on that 1-2. You know, he has that powerful right hand. Not as powerful as Wilder's, but it's dangerous. When you rely on that and that alone, you might as well, I don't know what to tell you, but learn how to box. That's what boxing is about. You know who had that perfect combination of boxing skills and punching skills? Fucking Mike Tyson, man. Mike Tyson knew how to box and he knew how to punch. And he combined it in a perfect hybrid style, man, with that peekaboo style. You know, not saying that Wilder should fight peekaboo. No, he's too tall and lanky for that. Most of the guys he fights are going to be shorter than him. So the peekaboo style really doesn't make sense. But he could learn how to box, man. But it's too late, I think, for Wilder. I think it's too late for Wilder to learn how to box well enough to be someone like Fury. It's not gonna happen. So there's really nowhere he can go in the sport anymore. Unless, if he takes 2 years off and just work on his boxing. Take 2 years off. No one will hold it against him. Take 2 years off. Work on your boxing. Spar a lot. Working on your boxing. Backing up. You know, learn how to box on your back foot. Learn how to punch on your back foot with power. Learn how not to cross your feet. Learn how to use those angles to change levels, right? Transition from body to head smoothly. That's what he needs to work on. Take 2 years off. Focus on that. Get back to your walking around weight. Develop your strength. Develop your strength. Your power's already there. You know, maintain that power, but work on strength without building muscle and learn how to box. Take 2 years. He's still relatively young, but if you don't do that, there's no one else he can fight, really. You know what I'm saying? He demolished everyone there was to demolish in the heavyweight division, except for Anthony Joshua. But Anthony Joshua is not really, I think Deontay Wilder would destroy Anthony Joshua because he ain't got no chin. Dude got a weak chin that was exposed by Andy Ruiz. So there's really no one for Deontay to face right now. Take 2 years off, learn how to box, right? Build some strength in those fucking legs. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to box like a heavyweight. Not like a bantamweight, not like a flyweight, but like a heavyweight. You know? Like Usyk. Usyk, that's how a heavyweight should box. Like Usyk box. Or like Sanchez boxed yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Seven and a half. I'm white and I think I could beat you, Tyrant. Okay. Good for you. Hey yo, that the level of confidence. Good for you, man. Jay Stacks, what's up? Wilder throws bombs, and I agree. Derek C. Williams says Tyson had it all together. Saw a documentary on Tyson, and he absolutely did not train for Douglas. Well, Mike Tyson was on some different shit by the time he got to Douglas. He had a lot of shit going on. And so did Buster Douglas. So Buster Douglas used his ills and his issues to come out on top. What's up, Dank? S7, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I just don't think you can beat me because I'm white, bro. If that makes sense. It makes sense that you would say that, seeing as how Wilder can never beat Tyson Fury. If that's what you're going with, if that's what you think, hey, more power to you. More power to you. I would just like to remind you of Mayweather versus Ricky Hatton. And I'm gonna leave that there. I can give you many examples of white boys getting their ass whooped by black dudes. But that's okay. Yeah, I got Facebook. I got Facebook, but I ain't gonna drop it here. I can, if you email me, I can let you know what my Facebook is. Tyson is tough. Tyson is tough, and the problem, and he is on one of the greatest heavyweights problem with Wilder, is he tires out too quickly. You know what? And then, Wilder doesn't really get tired like that. Well, he does. He does. But he gets tired, but that right hand stays powerful. It's just not in this fight. The power in his right hand was diminished by his size. And I say that because with all that muscle in his arms and in his shoulders and in his, because you got to use, it's not just in your arms, right? It's in your hips, when you turn your hips over and you push off the ground with your foot, all that shit takes a lot of energy. And with him putting so much weight on, it just slowed him down. It slowed his speed down, and therefore, it took some of the mustard out of that right hand. People thought he was going to be more powerful, but it's not just about how much it's not just about weight. Force equals speed times mass. And if your speed is diminished because you have all that extra muscle, it reduces your power levels. That's just the reality. He got tired, all that weight, it takes a lot longer for all that weight to travel as far as it needs to travel, because he has really long arms. That's another thing. You have longer arms, the longer your fist has to travel, which takes more energy. All this shit is about energy, man. It's about having enough energy stores to hang in the fight. He just didn't have it. See, now I'm making it about race? Okay, buddy. I like a good troll. J Stack says Tyson is tough. Oh, right, my bad. I read that. Derek C. Williams, he's trolling. It's a good troll. Yeah, Marshall T, he's a trolling. Dang says, hey, dude, Tyrant, be honest. Can anyone beat Jake Paul in your opinion? Fuck yeah. Tyron Woodley beat Jake Paul. Tyron Woodley beat Jake Paul. Jake Paul threw a lot of punches. Most of them landed on the gloves. In real boxing, those don't count. Tyron Woodley was not hurt at any point in the fight. And Jake Paul was saved by the ropes. And that should have been ruled a knockdown. Jake Paul, even though Tyron, he didn't let his hands go as much as he should have, he still threw more meaningful punches that landed. And he beat him. That's why he doesn't want the rematch. Because he knows that Tyron knows that his power in his right hand isn't really that significant and that he can withstand it. Because Tyron laughed that shit off. So I think the second fight, if they had a rematch, Tyron Woodley would knock Jake Paul the fuck out. Clean. Now, I ain't worried about trolls. Trolls are needed. Mix things up a little bit. Man, I'm trying to do one more lap. Javier Sain said the fight was gay. It wasn't the prettiest fight. That's for damn sure. Jake may have been a better boxer, but Tyron was a better puncher. And he landed more punches. He landed more meaningful punches than Jake Paul. Jake Paul threw a lot of weak combinations. You know, and Jake Paul, he needs to work on his boxing a little more. He was throwing a lot of off-balance combinations that were landing on the gloves. So, I mean, you call it what you want to. He ran around more. I wouldn't call it boxing. Look, running around the ring is not boxing. Boxing is deliberate. It's about using your footwork to set up punches, to evade punches, to counter. You know what I'm saying? To expose your opponent's weaknesses. Jake Paul didn't do that. You know? But that's okay. He showed heart and he went up against a heavy hitter. And Tyron Woodley is not a traditional boxer. He's not. He's a wrestler with some good striking skills. Give Tyron another year or so. Listen, Tyron could fight Jake Paul tomorrow. And Tyron would knock him the fuck out. That's why Jake Paul doesn't want a rematch. Even though Tyron Woodley got that tattoo. You know, he said, he did what he said. He said the tattoo has to be where everybody can see it, and he has to show them. He did that. Just because you don't like where the fuck he put it, doesn't mean he didn't go with what was agreed upon. You know what I'm saying? You just too pussy to fight him again. That's the bottom line to it. Jake Paul got his ass whooped, and that's okay. He stepped in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Which I can respect. 8:18. Oh, I got some time. When am I leaving Cali? Next year. But I'll be in a position to leave whenever I want after January. I won't be tied down, so to speak. Like I'm staying in California one more year because I'm changing my living situation, and I'll be saving a lot more money. Because in California, you make a shitload of money as an electrician, but it just doesn't really make up to the cost of living. But if you can arrange your living situation in a certain way, you can stack up money. So that's what I'm going to do as much as I can next year. But when I see shit start to get too crazy, we can just get out of there. We don't have to wait on nothing. We can just pick up and go. So we're putting ourselves in a position to just be able to leave whenever the fuck we feel like it. So I don't think I have time to go all the way up to fuck. Okay, we got about 45 minutes. Yeah, let me go up to the top. Yeah, I got time. Effing book was good. Yeah, soon California minimum wage to be at $1 million, but you'll need to spend $100 million to buy a house. That's how it'll work. Tyron got lucky with the punch, but he didn't know what to do once. Listen, you know why he didn't move in after he knocked him into the ropes? Because he knew it was a knockdown. If you know you knock somebody down, you're not supposed to rush him and continue hitting him. But it wasn't ruled as a knockdown as it should have been. And Tyron clobbered Jake a lot more times than that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Jake Paul caught him with a couple good shots, but mostly he hit gloves. You know what I'm saying? No meaningful punches from Jake Paul. Not enough. But it is what it is. Jake Paul officially won that fight. That's what it is. That's what we're gonna roll with. Yeah, he did win. He won by split decision, and he got his ass whooped. He won getting his ass whooped. Perfect. What's your point? Thanks to effing book. S7. You know what it takes to be a troll? Not much. A faceless wonder who talks all that shit behind a photoless avatar with just a fucking letter on it. Pussy shit. So just know, all that shit you talk, the way you talking it, pussy shit. I'll respect you more if you put a picture up there, even if it was a fake picture. Damn, at least have the balls to do that. Don't worry about him, Marcy T. Ain't he precious? That's how you deal with them trolls. Keep them under the bridge and feed them shit, along with the mushrooms. Which is what the American people are, by the way. Kept in the dark and fed shit. Good old mushrooms, the American people. Oh,
Sorry.
no. I'm talking to you. 7. I'm gonna tell you about the blonde hair and the green eyes. You're going extinct. That settles that. Morning. By 2050, your kind won't exist anymore. How you feel about that, troll? You'll be phased out of existence. So you might want to do what a lot of white people are doing and get with some black folks so that at least you can have some bloodline left to push along. Is that racist enough for you? I know, right? I know it's racist. I did that on purpose. It's called trolling, like what you're doing. Marcy is not blonde. Are you blonde, Marcy? Marcy T is indigenous, by the way. Marcy is indigenous. So, anyway, so let's talk about the B cells. The B cells, which is what we're going to move along to something more important. Yonder got whooped. He lost. Jake Paul got his ass whooped. He won. So, it is what it is. Anyway, so, what's more important? Well, not more important, but what is, when we talk about immunity in regards to the Medela 19, excuse me, when we talk about immunity in regards to Medela 19, there's so much emphasis placed on antibodies, right? So much emphasis placed on antibodies. But you have to understand what type of antibodies are produced when your body's introduced to certain things, right? So let's talk about the mRNA a snap, right? Let's talk about the mRNA snap. So now the mRNA snap, what they do is they send messages to your cells, right, through the ribosomes, right? Because this mRNA that they put into you is a synthetic strand of DNA. So, that's what your actual DNA does in your cells naturally, is they tear off a strand and send it out as messenger RNA to the ribosomes to create proteins. But that's what this mRNA does. It takes the instructions and gives it to the ribosomes, and your ribosomes create these proteins. Now, it only creates the spike protein for the supposedly for the Medela 19. It doesn't create the whole goddamn Medela 19, just the spike protein. So when the T cells encourage the B cells to create antibodies, it only creates antibodies to deal with two types of proteins from the spike proteins. So that's it, just two. What happens though, when you have natural immunity, when your body is faced with the entire so-called Medela 19 virus, which I'm still not convinced that it exists, because it has not been isolated. It's not been purified. It's not been visualized. So I don't know what the hell they talking about when they call it that. Anyway, what happens is, your body, when faced with the entire virus, your T cells kick in and tell the B cells, hey, yo, and the C cells, yo, we got a problem over here. We need you to create antibodies for 25 different proteins to deal with the virus. So natural immunity produces much stronger antibodies, not just longer lasting, more antibodies, but stronger single antibodies, right? Now, this is according to science. I'm not making this shit up. Y'all can do the research. Don't take my word for it. I'm telling you about what I read and what has been spoken of by multiple doctors that I have watched on YouTube dealing with antibodies in general, antibodies that have to deal with Modelo 19. So this is not just something that it's not conspiracy theory. This is real shit. This is easily looked up. So that your B cells create antibodies that recognize 25 proteins to destroy when introduced to the virus. So in essence, if you get the virus in your body and you have the SNAP antibodies, they're not going to be as strong. They're not going to be in as far spread in your body. You know what I'm saying? They're only going to attack the spike proteins of the virus, where we don't know how many of those spikes they're even going to get to, you know. But there's evidence that shows through a large study that has not yet been peer reviewed. I must say that. Now there's a smaller study that has been peer reviewed that shows that a smaller sample size of a study that shows that natural immunity is much stronger, right? Much stronger than SNAP immunity. And the larger non-peer reviewed study, but compiled by a government source, which is supposed to be the end-all be-all source, right? The Israeli government shows that natural immunity is stronger. That's just the bottom line to it. Because your body is being introduced to the entire virus. And it learns how to deal with the entire virus so that nothing gets left to chance. So let's talk about the waning immunity, all right? So after about 9 months, you start to see 8 to 9 months, you start to see waning immunity, waning antibody counts in natural immunity, right? In natural immunity, waning levels of antibodies after about 9 months. And it's about 2 months for the SNAP. So 2 months, you start to lose major efficacy with the SNAP. With natural immunity, you start to lose those antibodies in about 9 months. I don't know if I repeated myself just then. Anyway, but here's the most important thing. Even after those 9 months of natural immunity waning in terms of the antibodies, guess what still cracks? Your B cells. While your antibodies may not be there as much or as plentiful, your B cells have what is called memory, right? There's memory within your B cells and your C cells that when introduced, when that virus comes back after about 9 months, 10 months, it recognizes just like that the virus and creates them antibodies hot quick because of the memory. So that's why B cells are a lot more important than the actual antibodies. The antibodies are just what the B cells create, and they make plenty of them, and they leave them in your body just in case that shit comes back real quick. But even after your antibodies start to go away, your B cells still have the memories of how they know how to create those antibodies much faster than before you were introduced to that virus in the first place. So, but they're not going to talk about B cells, right? When you go get an antigen test or antibody test, they're looking at the count of your antibody count. They're not looking at how your B cells react to the virus. You know, they don't, you can get your B cells tested. Y'all know that. So if you really want to know if you had Modelo 19 before, maybe you had it a year ago, maybe you had it 10 months ago, maybe you felt like you had it that while ago, you just didn't want to go get tested, or you were exposed to it, somebody said that they had it that you knew, you just did the smart thing and didn't put yourself in the fucking system, you can go and get an antibody test, a B cell test, and a C cell test. And they'll recognize in those tests if you had Modelo 19 before and if your body fought it off. But they won't tell you that. It's all about the antibody test, right? No, y'all need to go get the B cell test, the C cell test, so that if you don't want to lose your job, and they're talking about, oh, you got to get, you know, you got to have the SNAP to work here. Well, you can take their ass to court. Get your B cell test, get your C cell test, and get your antibody test, and take that shit to court. There have been many court cases won, quite a few, that they're not going to talk about in the media. Professors at schools, students, they have gotten their antibody test, their B cell test, their C cell test, and they have won their case in court. So they wouldn't be able to lose their jobs. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. It's not just about antibodies, right? You shouldn't have to do that. But that's what we're faced with to some degree. You know what I'm saying? If you're not ready to leave your profession or leave that job right away because you don't have the support, you know what I'm saying? You know, you're going to quit your job. You're doing what you feel is best for you and your body. You want to quit your job, but who's going to take care of you? Where are you going to do? Where are you going to go? When everybody, damn near, is requiring that shit. You know, until we are able to take these people in and use them to build our own communities where they won't need fucking, you know, we build our own communities where there are no fucking mandates. At that point, we'll accept anybody. Hey, oh, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're a crane operator, you're a gardener, you're a farmer, you're a rancher, and you don't want to get snapped, but they're trying to ostracize you from society. You know what I'm saying? Well, we'll accept you. We'll take you into the fold. You won't need that shit with us. And that's what we need to come to. Let's see. Yeah. Trolls are only fun for about 2 minutes because they really have nothing of substance to say. And it just intellectually, there's nothing to gain from engaging with them too long. So at some point, you just ignore them. You just ignore the trolls. They haven't had one sip of water yet. I got mad energy. Too bad I got to cut my shit short today. But it's for the best. Oh, I got to tell you guys, man. I found a great coffee alternative. Caffeine-free coffee alternative. That's not tea. It's actually cacao, right? There's this company called Creole Brio. Creole Brio, C-R-I-O, not Creole Brio, Creole Brew. C-R-I-O Brew, right? B-R-U. And they just, it's ground cacao beans. Roasted ground up cacao beans that you just throw in a coffee maker, you throw it in a French press, boom. That shit's delicious. It has those notes of chocolate, and it has the theobromine, which is, it's a stimulant, but it's a much cleaner stimulant. Like, it gives you the energy, but you don't get any jitters. It doesn't give you like the fucking high excessive heart rate that caffeine can give you. You know, if your body doesn't deal with caffeine that well, then the cacao beans, all roasted up and ground up, basically like coffee grounds. Shit, that shit is amazing. I just got my order came in a few days ago. Oh man, that shit is great. You know what I mean? Nice, clean energy, no jitters. You know, just great. I'm not sponsored by Creole Brew or nothing like that. And you really don't need that company to get this. All you need is some cacao bean grounds, which you can do yourself. Hell, you know, if you know somebody or if you know of a company that sells just the cacao beans, you can ground them up, you know, roast them up, ground them up, or you can get them already roasted. Boom. I just got these from them for the convenience. So I don't have to spend time taking the shell off. You know what I mean? Well, you know what? You don't even have to take the shell off to grind it up. Just grind it up, nice down to a powder, and boom. You got yourself some cacao brew. That shit is great. Shit is delicious. Throw a little bit of cream in there, a little creamer, a little bit of sweetener. I use you know, non-sugar sweetener like monk fruit or allulose. Man, that shit was great. Cause I hadn't been able to drink coffee in a while. I used to drink coffee a lot. I had to stop because it was, you know, the stimulants, it was too much. You know what I mean? So I had to ease up on that. And now, boom, I discovered this cacao ground brew stuff. Shit is great. Yeah. Oh, there, you deleted them? I don't like deletions unless he was spamming. If he was spamming, that's a different thing. Yeah, it's called Creole Brew. CRIOBRU. 2 words. So CRIO brew. Not BERW or not BREW, but BRU. Yeah, coffee, yeah, it can make you sick to your stomach. It's a diuretic, you know what I'm saying? But not this cacao stuff. And like I said, the theobromine is a clean stimulant. California dreaming in NYC was good. There's who said, Snapzilla Gorilla question, where is the mandate in writing? This is a very good article. It's on there's some in the French press on the counter. Babs. And my wife stepped in and asked me where her cacao brew is. It's on the counter. Me and my wife went out to see Deion Cole comedy on Friday, and we didn't get back till about 1:30. Didn't get to sleep till about 2:30, and she had a few drinks. She had a little headache yesterday morning. She drank some of that Creole brew, and her headache went away. So it's not only good for energy, but you know, it has, you know, some It boosts the immune system, has minerals and whatnot in there. It's really good. Wangsta Rat Corey Walsh. My wife is white and 250. Okay, true. Hey, you know that, babe? Your wife, you're white and 250. It's a troll, babe. Don't worry about it. Because you're white and 250. Don't worry about it. No, Derek, don't delete them. It's fine. No censorship, buddy. My wife don't care. She knows she's a beautiful black queen. I has highlights. That sounds like another troll account. Oh, thank you, I has highlights. Contextual MD. Well, at least you, what does that mean? A lot of new people up in here. At least I'm keeping it within my own race. You goddamn right, contextual. That's my personal choice. Got me a nice little, fine little chocolate woman with some beautifully textured hair that she can do anything with. Yep. She can put it in the fro. She can wear it down. She can get it curly. Her skin is beautiful and melanated. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, Derek, let's not block people, man. I believe in free speech. So, you know what's up, Derek. California Dream NYC. Love you for that snap. Loving on your wife. Got to. I hear you, Derek, but I don't want nobody being blocked. I want people to see the stupid shit people say so they can draw their own conclusions and see the level of ignorance in this world. It's all good, Derek. Let's see. I got 15 minutes. I got to get out of here 15 minutes. I think I can make it to the top in 15 minutes. California Dreamer says, I love your wife. She's a real woman. You speak so highly of her. Yeah, she's a great woman. Raising 6 of my babies. Homeschooling 4 of them right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, just raising my beautiful, healthy babies. You know, what more can a man ask for? And she takes good care of me when I needed to. Contextual MD, that's what's up, man. It is what it is. It's all good. Shannon Lorette, how you doing? Any woman can take care of a rucking husband raising 6 children. Hell yeah. It gets on her nerves sometimes, but you know, I took them with me twice last week to go rucking on Tuesday and Thursday. No, Tuesday and Friday. And so it made her feel a lot better about me doing my rucking lives. She doesn't mind me going live. You know, it gets on her nerves sometimes when I go rucking every other day. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to incorporate her into most of those rucking sessions in my whole family. And that's the beautiful thing about homeschooling, man. We're on our own time. I can take my kids to the park. They can do school at the park. They can do school at the beach. You know what I'm saying? So much more freedom homeschooling your children. Whew. Javier Sane says, makes sense, public school sucks unless you go to school in the suburbs. Hell, even then, they're still trying to indoctrinate your children. California Dreamer says, that's the type of woman I keep in my circle, virtuous woman. Very virtuous. Anarchy TV is in the building? I didn't see him. Oh, there you go. What's up, Anarchy Television? Shannon Lorette says it doesn't bother me none. California Dreamer says I would love to network with her. I'm sure we can build. My boys are grown and we're homeschooled as well. Oh, that's what's up, California Dreaming. Yeah, email me. Email me and I'll shoot you my wife's email. You know what I'm saying? It's important that we network with like-minded people. Yeah, I ain't got no problem with that. You got my email address right, California Dreaming? Snapzilla Gorilla at Gmail. I gotta quit stopping. I got about 13 minutes to get to the car. Marcy says, I'm half Native American and white, but bottom line is I'm human. So you can't understand love, peace, happy, joy. That's what's up, Marcy T. That's what it's all about, right? Y'all need to check out AZ Infidel was good. Y'all need to check out Energy TV's channel. He has a lot of good stuff dealing with CB radios and putting shit together, and he's a mechanic at heart. You know what I'm saying? The type of cat you want on your team when the shit hits the fan. Like a MacGyver or some shit. I can only MacGyver a little bit. AZ Infidel was good, man. Yeah. So what did y'all think about that the Dave Chappell special? Did y'all see that? It was a good special. Not really, it was funny, right? It was funny. But not, you know, I didn't really laugh as much as I laugh at most of the specials. But it was pretty funny. And you know, listen, he said some shit about the LGBT community after they tried to cancel him the last 2 or 3 times he came at or joked about the LGBT community. Listen, y'all can't cancel Dave Chappelle. He's cancel proof, all right? You know why Dave Chappelle is cancel proof? Because he don't give a fuck. He's not gonna come and apologize. He's not gonna kowtow. He's not gonna bend the knee. You know what I'm saying? And most importantly, Netflix didn't bend the knee and remove his special. Now, I have a problem with Netflix because of that cuties bullshit that they put out. They should have been canceled for that. But they took a stance, you know, they didn't bend the knee to the LMNOP community against Dave Chappelle. So, more power to him. But look, it's not because Dave Chappelle is special. It's not because he's more protected than other celebrities like Kevin Hart, who has said shit about the LGBT community, and others like him, right? It's not because of that. It's because he did not back down. He did not apologize. He stood on his nuts. And he continued to make jokes about him that were funny and made fucking sense. So that's why Dave Chappelle is cancel proof. It's not just because he's a comedic genius. It's not because he's one of the GOATs. No, it's because he didn't back fucking down. He didn't say, oh, okay, poor trans people, I'm not gonna say anything bad about you. No, he said, fuck that. I got a friend who's trans, and they understand my jokes. They're not all pussy about it. You know what I'm saying? So, much respect to Dave Chappelle for not apologizing, for standing on his nuts, for doubling down, for standing his ground. And that's what we need to see more of in this world. That's what we need to see more of from our so-called leaders. But you're not going to get that. Dave Chappelle can get away with it because guess what? He's already established himself. He's not in Hollywood. He lives in fucking Ohio. You know, he don't give a shit. Like he's you know, SM Kush Clouds was good. That trans friend killed herself over being harassed by a trans community. Wait, what? She killed herself? The fuck? My God. You think Dave C is a clone? Yeah, I heard about that, man. There's some strange shit going on with that, but you know, he was gone for a while. You know, you got to consider with age, people's features change a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's certain things that aren't going to change in people's features, especially like with the earlobes. And who knows, man? He might have been a clone. But the bottom line is the LGBT community came for him. He stood his ground. Boom, that's it. But am I hearing this right? The trans, like, and this trans person was supposed to do stand up with him or go on tour with him, or she killed, like, that person killed themselves. Man, it's fucking sad, man. So you can't sometimes you gotta take the hits on the chin. You know, you can't let these people tear you down so much to where you want to harm yourself, man. Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. See, look, there's already something going on in the psyche of these people. And when I say of these people, I'm talking about the trans community, the homosexual community, because of what happens. A lot of the reasons they get into that is because of some mental trauma they go through. So they're already somewhat unstable. So, man, that's crazy. I gotta look that up. NPR article claimed Dave Chappelle has white privilege. NPR is idiotic. That's just like ABL saying yesterday or the other day that there's black privilege because Timothy Simpkins got out on bail. That's the most retarded thing he has ever said. S7 is fixated on race. I don't know why, but it's good that we know that. We know how to deal with people like that, right? We can't take them seriously. So let them be stuck on race. He's just a symptom of a bigger problem. Sean Call said Dave Chappell's a problem. They have people like Russell Brand that make sure problems like this don't happen in Ireland and Europe. Russell Brand is handler that's supposed to stop them in the UK. What do you mean, Sean Klaus, about that? I said I consider him white. It's his choice. Boy, okay. I mean, contextual MD, I don't know how you expect to be taken seriously with that type of logic you spitting. He is silly, Derek. Suicide is a plague in the trans community. Yeah, it is. SM Clutch Cloud says she went on tour and bombed for 45 minutes, but Dave Chappelle said she was funny backstage. Watch the movie. I believe in equality, but they went too far. Yeah, no shit. NPR calling Dave Chappelle as white privilege. Yeah, it's crazy. Really need to watch. Which Dave Chappelle movie? You talking about The Closer, right? Yeah, I watched it. NPR Show Us Run. Yeah, no shit. What I mean is Dave thinks like white man, so he's a credit to our race. No, Dave Chappelle does not think like a white man. Dave Chappelle thinks like a man. Dave Chappelle thinks like white men wish they could think like, but they don't have the capacity. See how that sounds? It's easy to flip that shit on you. Dave Chappelle thinks like a black man that knows how to deal with white folks that want him to put on dresses, but he tells them to fuck off and comes back and becomes 20 times richer than he would have been if he put that dress on. That's not thinking like a white man. Dave Chappelle said his problem is not the LGBT community. It's always been white people. So I don't know how you got that. You see, people like S7 and ABL, unfortunately, think that white people are inherently more intelligent than black folks. That couldn't be further from the truth. The thing with white folks are, since you wanted me to take it there, is that, and you know, based on their European upbringing, being, you know, their civilization having started in such a harsh environment, a harsh climate like the Caucasus Mountains, you know, it was a lot more ruthlessness that had to occur to survive. So that just translated throughout the years. It's epigenetics. You know, that ruthless gene, that is so, you know, that rape and pillage and genocidal behavior that white folks, you know, Europeans display. That's part of their epigenetic nature. You know what I'm saying? Just based on how they had to survive in the cold Caucasus Mountains, and you know, eat each other, and you know, they like to say that that indigenous folks everywhere else in the world were savages and cannibals, but they were cannibalistic as well. Back in those, they were cannibals. You know what I'm saying? They were cannibals all the way up to the point where they discovered the Mayans and the Incans doing their sacrifices, trying to act like we were, the Mayans and the Incans, they were cannibalistic, ritualists, and all this other shit. No, Y'all were cannibals too. Incestuous cannibals who would fuck your sister and cousins and all that shit to keep the bloodline going. Eat people because you thought eat infants because you thought the infant's blood gave you power. Come on, man. What, Europeans, come on, man. Let's be real about it. Let's be real about it. And this is coming from a man whose grandmother is white. You know what I'm saying? My white grandmother was a savage. You know what I'm saying? My white grandmother was a savage. So I know firsthand. My white grandmother was a savage to me. It is what it is. And now you're being racist to me, Tyrant. I don't care. I have a right to be racist. Yep, I got that right. You brought race into it. You brought race into it. So now you're gonna get the truth about your race. Your race of people were the original cannibals. They were the original incestuous motherfuckers with their wild, crazy teeth. Yo, it's just a reality. Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know that the Europeans? Oh, y'all was nasty. The Moors taught y'all how to bathe. You know what I'm saying? Y'all were living in filth, even in the palaces where the kings were. Nasty. You know what I'm saying? Eating, you know what I'm saying? Eating rats. Y'all, listen, man. Let's not go there. You want to go there? You want to talk about some nasty shit? You want to talk about that? Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I don't give a shit. I'm not. Listen, I'm not ABL. I'm not Brandon Tatum. I don't need to keep a white audience. I don't need to keep any audience at all. I don't kowtow. I don't pander. It is what it is. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you, like ABL and Brandon Tatum would, that white men make better leaders and and they have more high skilled labor. Listen, we know why that was, right? You want to talk about the skilled labor in this country and why black people don't really have a good handle on that? Well, it's because during slavery, we weren't allowed to learn skilled labor. We weren't allowed to learn skilled labor all the way until the 60s and 70s. We were always given the shit jobs. We were never given an opportunity for apprenticeships or any of that. And that's including in the IBEW, which I'm a part of. They didn't start letting black folks come in to the IBEW until like the 70s or 80s. Not like that. And we still don't have a lot of people in the IBEW, black folks. You know what I'm saying? A skilled labor, electrician. And I'm a beast of an electrician. I run circles around every white boy in the field that I've come across. So it's not like we don't have the capacity. We just need, when we learn some shit, when black folks learn some shit, learn how to do some shit, we get it popping. Guess who invented the first battery? Not a white boy. Not a white boy. The ancient Egyptians. They electroplating, batteries, ancient Egyptians. The black Egyptians, not the ones that they fucking, you know, not those Arabs. Lewis Latimer came up with the way to brighten your life. Yeah, Lewis Latimer invented the incandescent light bulb. So let's not listen. Open heart surgery, black man perfected it. White man took the credit. You want to go there contextual? Hence, Native Americans didn't know anything until the white showed up. No, the Native Americans knew what they needed to know, and they were good. They were good without the Europeans. They didn't need they didn't need what the Europeans brought over here. As a matter of fact, it was the Native Americans showed the Europeans how to cultivate the land in the United States. The white folks were starving. You really want to go there? When white folks showed up, they didn't know how to do shit in this country. They learned from the Native Americans how to get shit cracking. The same thing in motherfucking when they went over to Africa. The Africans taught the European shit. The Moors taught European shit. Every indigenous culture showed the white folks how to do it. They just were a little bit more ruthless. When they learned, they decided to turn against their masters and their teachers. That's what happened. That's how Europeans get down. That's just the reality of it. Sorry, buddy. Traffic lights. Black boy, black man. It is what it is. AZ Infidel says, if you understand civilization, understand history, then you would know that the concept of civilization was brought by introduction of Roman law. That Roman law created the first benchmark. And that's the, you think that's a good thing? That to me, that was the destruction of civilization. Bringing about better men to judge other people. To me, that's not an advanced concept. To me, that's just, they advanced the you're talking about, yeah, they came up with the Congress and all this shit, but what did that do? How did that help the Roman civilization? It didn't. And look at us now. We're using Roman concepts in this country with the judges and the Congress and the Senate. And look where we're at. We're a slave to the system. So that's not an advancement. And the first civilization was not built by white folks. Before there were judges and senates, there were council of elders, right? Representatives for different villages. Like, no, black folks built the first civilization. The Romans took those concepts, right? And they built on them and used it in different ways. They came up with the different things to do with it. But at the end of the day, they perverted it. And that, you know what I'm saying? They perverted it. Julius Caesar got stabbed a bunch of times, and the Roman Empire fell. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a reality. Like the Roman system we're using now is not. How is that good for the people? How is that like we're fucked? Look what's going on in Australia. Thanks to that Roman system. Thanks to that Roman system. Mesopotamia, that's what they want to say. Mesopotamia, Babylon, Kemet, even before those. You know what I'm saying? It's just different forms of civilization. Just different forms and different takes on it in different directions. You know what I'm saying? But the Roman Empire did not build the first civilization. They just came up with the system that we essentially use today, which is not a good system. It's not a good system. We're fucked. I'm not saying it was good or bad. It was the only history of known cosmic. No. Civilization started before that. It started before that. It was before that. Like there's evidence of civilizations long before that. They just, like I said, it's like a patent, right? Someone can invent something and they have a patent on it, right? And no one can do anything until that patent expires. But once that patent expires, you can build on it and make it better. You can change things. You can put your own stamp on it. Anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. But I love having these talks. Listen, we can have this debate on where civilization started. Matter of fact, no, I understand your point, AZ Infidel. But when you say that the Romans built the first civilization, if that's what you're saying, then that's not true. That's not true. Because they were trading with the Egyptians after the Arabs, right? The Euro Arabs went over there into Egypt and started fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? So there were already dynasties of civilization that already occurred in Kemet before it was even known as Egypt. Before the Romans even came into contact with Egypt, there were already centuries of civilizations before that. It wasn't the Senate and the Congress, no, but you know, yeah. So anyway, we definitely got to have this conversation. I'm gonna bring some receipts. You know what I'm saying? I love it. We can do it on a we can do a little, what they call that? We can get on a I can get a panel started, and we can talk about that. We can talk about who built the very first civilization and all that other shit. Yes, we use the Roman system, but it's an enslavement system. To me, that's not civilized. When a group of men rule over everybody with you know what I'm saying? That don't when they rule over people that don't want to be ruled over, and they're committing crimes against humanity, like that's not civilized to me. You know, you just dressing up your savagery. You just putting a dress on your savagery. That doesn't make you civilized. That makes you a savage. To me, that's savage. If you build a civilization and you're a leader, right? Emphasis should be placed on improving the lives of the people that you have leadership over, not ruling over them, not taking advantage of them, not taxing them and robbing them and forcing them to do things they don't want to do. You allow people to grow into their own leaders and be independent. They're just looking to you for leadership because you showed them something that they haven't seen before, and they know you know how to do it, and they want to learn from you. And so you say, okay, this is how we can do this. We can do it like this. We can do it like that. If you want to take leadership from me, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're your own man. You're your own people. You still have to rely on you. A good leader will say, I don't know what's best for you. You tell me what's best for you, and I'll help you achieve that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, AZ Infidel, we need to do a panel so that we can better understand what we're saying. I'm not saying you were saying that it was good what the Romans did. I'm saying that they didn't build the first civilization. You said that they built the first civilization. They did not. That's all I'm saying. And to me, what they built wasn't civilized, right? Because it was all about screwing the people over for their own for their own benefit. That's not civilized. To me, that's just, you know, like I said, you're putting a dress on your savagery. Derek Williams is not dating a white woman. And if he was, so what? What if Derek wanted to date a white women? Anyway, much love, guys. Well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's talk. I want to have a discussion about who built the first civilization. But I want to have a better setup. I want to have. I just need time. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Much love. Peace out. Much love to you guys. I'm glad y'all came on. We had this discussion, and we'll have more discussions. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it up. And listen, at the end of the day, the smallest minority is the individual. And I'm all about individual rights, whether you're black, white, purple, orange, and it's about respecting other people's individual rights. As long as we have that, we're good to go. As soon as you try to step on people's individual rights, I don't care what color you are, we have a problem. All right. So anyway, much love. Peace out. Peace to the royal family. There's the poor little white guy. Yeah. All right. Much love, guys. Peace out.